1 Kings 18, verse 16 says this. Obadiah went to meet Ahab and told him, and Ahab went to meet Elijah. Then he saw Elijah and said to him, "Is that you, you troublemaker of Israel?" Notice, think about that, the troublemaker of Israel. And you think about that, that's how Ahab is now viewing Elijah, and Elijah is simply holding to what they used to follow. But now he's viewed as a troublemaker, and that's exactly the position that believers are in right now. Believers were following, the whole culture was once following, now departing, and now you, if you are faithful, and you must be faithful, you're holding on to God. And so now those who hold on to God are viewed as troublemakers. Especially that woman right there. Holy troublemaker. Well, the thing is, the kingdom had moved away from its foundation, had rejected its Judeo-Christian foundation. But Elijah and the people of God, the prophets of God, the faithful of God, those who held, they represented that foundation that the culture had fallen from. That's why it was their very existence was a trouble for Israel, because they reminded Israel of what they had fallen from. And so the very existence of Elijah, that he would not bend his knee to Baal, that very existence was a thorn in their side. Their conviction. See, if there was nobody who remained faithful, there'd be no witness, there'd be no conviction. But those who stay faithful are a conviction to the culture. As Messiah said, the darkness hates the light because it testifies. Its deeds are evil. And so that's where we are now. Why are those who stand strong for God increasingly attacked, increasingly hated, increasingly mocked, marginalized, called intolerant, increasingly made to look as if they were the troublemakers? Everything was peaceful until they came along with this new morality. No, it's all the opposite. Because of this. Just this month, the government came out, the Civil Rights Commission came out, was coming up with a decision concerning mostly Christians, who say, I can't participate in same-sex marriage. I cannot do that and serve God. I cannot partake in that which the Bible calls sin. But it had nothing to do with the people. We love the people. We'll serve everybody. We'll serve everybody, but I can't partake in that act. Had nothing to do with any. And so, and reality check, not long ago, this all was illegal. The commission just came to their conclusion. Not only did they say that these people, meaning really Christians, didn't have the right not to participate in that which goes against God's word. But the government didn't just say, well, your religious liberty is going to be trumped by this. That would be bad enough, but it didn't just say that. The commission said, they also said that Christians did not have the right. The government actually attacked them, attacked their motives. Anyone who says, I can't partake of it, attacked their character, their integrity of every Christian who follows the Bible in this way. Said it's just an excuse that they're saying it, these Christians, for their bigotry, for their hatefulness, for their homophobia, and for their Christian dominionism. And they must not be allowed to do so. They must not be allowed to refuse to go along. The government attacked them. 2 on the council dissented and said, this is all wrong. But why is the culture so bent on this? There's a book some of us read in school, and there's a movie called Lord of the Flies. And it's interesting because at the beginning, they're on an island, they're stranded, all these choir boys, and they're following the good one. But in the end, they all start going over to the wild, bad, savage one. At the end, they're hunting down the good one to kill him. Well, that's like a picture of the age here. Why is the culture so? Because we are the Elijahs of the day. And if there's a spirit of Ahab and Jezebel, then we are the Elijahs, then they are not going to be happy. It is our very continued witness to God that testifies to the culture of its fall, of what it fell from. If we don't go along with us, if you don't go along with us, we're against you because you convict us of what we are doing. For the same reason, there's a movement in culture to depict America as if it had never been anything else. As if we had never rejected the ways of God. This is just the way we always were. And anybody who says anything else, they're coming up. They're just trying to stir up trouble. even though they're just saying what was always been before we fell away from it. Just as Ahab did to Elijah. He says, you're the troublemaker. He's rejecting the fact that he's the one who fell, and Elijah's just still standing. And he says, so you're the troublemaker. You're the one, and Elijah answers him, no, I am not the troublemaker. You are the troublemaker of Israel, because you have departed from the God of Israel.
To find out how you can receive more of Jonathan's teachings, to receive special free gifts, or get in touch, go to hopeoftheworld.org or call toll-free 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's hopeoftheworld.org or call 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's 1-800-937-4821. You can also get more at Jonathan Cahn's Facebook page or write us direct at Hope of the World, Box 1111, Lodi, New Jersey 07644, USA. Hope of the World is dedicated to the goal of spreading God's Word and salvation to every land and people. We do this by spreading the Word throughout the world and sponsoring compassion projects to the most poor and needy around the earth. To get in touch or have a part in God's work, just write to Hope of the World, Box 1111, Lodi, New Jersey 07644, USA. Or go to hopeoftheworld.org or call 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's 1-800-937-4821.